Nobody's talking about this yet, but CBP just changed how they tax metal imports, and they did it with a secret memo. If you import steel, aluminum, or copper products, you might be facing massive retroactive bills based on rules you were never told about. Let me explain what's happening. Since June 2025, Section 232 National Security Tariffs on metals jumped to 50%. Steel, 50%. Aluminum, down to 50%. Copper, 25%. But here's what CBP told everyone. You only pay the 50% on the actual metal content, not the manufacturing costs. Their official guidance, CSMS message 65236374, specifically said you could split the value. Report the steel content on one line, taxed at 50%. Report the labor, overhead, and profit on a second line, taxed at a lower reciprocal rate. Importers followed this. They calculated the raw material cost, say $100 for the steel in a batch of screws, and declared that at 50%. The remaining value, $50 for manufacturing, got taxed at maybe 10%. That was the official, published rule. In December 2025, CBP's Center of Excellence and Expertise for Base Metals issued an internal memo. Not published in the Federal Register, not announced publicly, just an internal directive. This CEE memo says you cannot split the value anymore. If your product is made entirely of steel, screws, bolts, brackets, whatever, CBP now demands 50% on the total entered value. Raw material, plus labor, plus profit. Everything. No deductions for manufacturing. No deductions for coatings or finishes. No deductions for factory overhead. You import a steel screw for $150. They want 50% of $150, not 50% of the $100 raw steel content. That's a massive difference. And importers are finding out about this change when they get rate advance notices, surprise bills demanding tens or hundreds of thousands in additional duties. Here's the core dispute. Presidential Proclamation 1947 says the 50% duty applies only to the steel content of articles in Chapter 73. Importers interpreted steel content as the value of the raw steel material. The metal itself, not the work done to it. CBP is now arguing that if the finished product is 100% steel, then the entire price you paid is steel content. In their view, labor to shape steel is part of the steel article's value. Think of it this way. If the government taxes apples at 50%, should you pay on just the apples or on the entire apple pie, including the baker's labor? Importers say just the apples. CBP is demanding tax on the whole pie. This isn't just about the money. It's about how the rules were changed. The CEE, the Center of Excellence, doesn't have legal authority to reinterpret presidential proclamations. Under 19 CFR 177, only CBP headquarters can issue binding rulings on valuation. And even if they could, they violated the Administrative Procedure Act. When Customs changes a long-standing treatment, they must publish it in the Customs Bulletin and allow 30 days for public comment. They didn't do that. They kept the memo internal. Importers built 2025 and 2026 budgets around the split value approach because that's what the official guidance said. Now they're getting retroactive bills for entries they filed in good faith. If you import metal products, first, audit your 2025 entries immediately. Identify every entry where you used the split value method. Calculate your exposure if CBP rejects those splits. Second, if you receive a CF-29 notice of action, increasing your duties, File a formal protest within 180 days. Don't pay and accept it. Protest preserves your right to a refund if this gets resolved in importer's favor. Third, get certified cost breakdowns from your suppliers. You need documentation showing material cost versus manufacturing cost. If CBP challenges you, this is your defense. Fourth, budget for the worst case. Until this gets resolved, either through regulation or litigation, assume you're paying 50% on the full entered value, not just the metal content. This affects every metal importer in the United States. Steel fasteners, aluminum components, copper products, if it's classified in Chapter 73, Separate 6, or copper codes, you're exposed. CBP collected over $200 billion in tariffs in 2025. Aggressive enforcement is the strategy. Secret policy changes undermine trust and create compliance traps. Stay informed. Document everything. And if you're importing metals, understand that the rules you are following might not be the rules CBP is enforcing. CBP's secret December 2025 memo changed metal import valuation. Split value method no longer accepted for 100% steel items. Audit your entries. Protest increases. Get supplier documentation. Questions? Drop them below.